Charles, if you were a Supreme Court judge, how would you rule? Would you be an originalist or a textualist?
Oh boy. Well, just for our studio audience, to remind them what that means, an originalist is someone who goes according to the original intent of the founders. A textualist is someone who says it's a living document, which is a code for saying you can make up whatever you put into the document.
Mm-hmm.
As you will know, I am not someone who believes that the Constitution is holy writ or that the founding fathers were the apostles. That said, however, you need some sort of objective thing to hang it on. Now, we know it can't be the Catholic faith because that would be sectarian.
Whoa, what? You don't believe that America was founded on Thomistic principles?
No, I know,
Wow. Wow.
I know.
Okay.
So, having said that, we can knock it out. But even if it were, hold on to that thought.
Okay.
Let's pretend it were. Let's pretend St. Robert Bellarmine wasn't just moldering on Jefferson's shelf, but actually maybe had some weird relevance or not.
Okay.
What I will grant you is that the founding fathers certainly set up a system that wasn't nearly as bad as it might have been and has had a certain effectiveness, and that it has worked within its own limits. All right. Now, when Judge Bork was borked, we learned that original intent was out the window. And then when Mr. Justice Thomas had to, do his sort of minstrel show routine and promise that he didn't believe in natural law,
Wow, I didn't
that,
know that.
yeah, well, and mind you, don't get me wrong, I vastly admire Mr. Justice Thomas. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I really do. Especially because after he became a justice, he returned to the church,
Ooh.
but very publicly. But don't get me wrong, I'm all for him. I'm just being snarky for no real reason,
Oh, okay.
except that he did to get the job. He did have to assure them that he didn't believe in natural law. So what does that leave? Well, it leaves whatever's in their little pointed heads, and that's why when Mr. Justice Kennedy, now thank God, uh, made the majority opinion on a ruling. I forget the name of the case, but it was the one that excused underage murderers from capital punishment,
Okay.
and about which I have to say I don't really have a very strong opinion one way or the other. I really don't.
Okay.
I'm not being disingenuous. It's just not. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
But what did offend me was his reasoning. Rather than citing the law, the Constitution, precedent, or anything like that, Mr. Justice Kennedy declared that it was on the basis A, of foreign law, and B, changes in public opinion. Well, all right, then let's bring in anti-blasphemy laws because they have them in foreign countries. Yeah, that would go over pretty well. We know we're not going to do that. And as far as changes in public opinion go, that's really the province of those parts of the government that are elected. So what is he really saying? What he's saying is the only guide to interpreting the law is my opinion.
Yeah, the judges are supposed to be the check on popular opinion, just like when we voted against gay marriage in California and the judge said, hold on, we need to avoid, the popular
And I
vote.
should recuse
Yeah.
myself, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, so
Well,
that's.
that's not exactly what he said. It was gay, and he should have recused himself, but he didn't.
Yeah.
And to this day, he chuckles over having killed it, by the way.
I'm sure.
Yeah. That's good to know for those of you living in California. Your tax money is keeping that man fat and happy. So, not that we're angry,
No.
but as I was saying before I began thinking of judicial morons, so therefore, I would be an originalist simply because what else is there to hang this stupid hat on?
I
If
agree.
you're going to say it's whatever opinion pops into your pointed head, then why do we need judges who have been lawyers? If all you need to be a Supreme Court judge is a strong opinion, okay, then appoint anybody.
Yeah.
Because opinions are like various organs of the anatomy. Everybody's got one.
Yes.
And so just whenever it comes empty, let the president just pull a name out of a hat. Else, what is he? Oh, he's the guy that he's the short order cook at my favorite cafe. I stop out on my way to work every day. Well, does he have any legal? No, he's never been in a court in his life, but he's got opinions. I know because, like, when he's making my breakfast burrito, he's always telling me, well, he's putting the eggs and the ham and all, chopping up the sausage and going to the burrito. He's telling me all about his opinions about. So and I know he's got strong opinions, and I agree with him. So yeah, that would be really quality, or have them publicly elected. How about that, ye solons of the Supreme Court? How about meeting the people whose lives you control? How about meeting them in the ballot box? No, I don't think so. We wouldn't want to do that, would we? So, what do we do instead?
Wait,
Originalism.
What? Oh, okay.
What? Originalism. But, and of course, voting for judges, as we know in California, they throw a ton of people at you, and you have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
When you go to vote, you've got a row of names, you've never heard of any of them, and to find out anything substantial about them is difficult. You've got to sit down with their ballot, you've got to look, you've got to see, okay, who's endorsed them, who's against them. And that basically is the only way you can make an informed choice, and who, honestly, has the time to do that. I have heard people admit all sorts of specious reasons for voting for state and county judges. Just really silly. I like the name. Well, I was in a hurry. I'd already voted for the president, the senators, the congressmen. I'm not going to waste time with a bunch of judges. These are the people who determine in a much stronger way how you're going to live. So those judges you can vote for, you better know who they are and what you're getting. But you know what very often happens? Even if you do that, you find you don't like any of them.
Yeah.
The judges who come up to be, the lawyers who come up to be judges, you find they all have the same rotten, worthless, I'm trying to say one word, it's two, rotten and worthless opinions. So what do you do with that? Do I want to be kicked or do I want to be slugged?
Well,
not that I'm angry.
Not that you're angry. Well, it's a fallen world.
That can't be, because if the world has fallen, then I myself. Never mind. What else we got?